Howdy hackers, and welcome to another episode of FairLight TV. There is gossip spreading and there is forensic evidence. This will be forensic evidence of a hideous deed executed by no other than John Twiddy, one of the main guys between the game Last Ninja 2. So, recracking is when a group takes somebody else's crack, remove the intro, and then release it under their own name as if they had done their actual work. This could happen in the corporate world, and it happened in the case of Last Ninja 2, one of the main games of the platform. Over to dissecting the details of the ripoff of Last Ninja 2. Thanks to Tom SLC of Nostalgia for this topic. Over to the episode. Let's have a look at the two versions here. First, on the left, I do have Ikari's version. You can tell it's Last Ninja 2++ Ikari. And on the right, I have a G64 dump of the original. So, so it's that. If you look at the files on the respective versions, they look remarkably similar. Of course, you have a little boot file that auto starts the original, and then you have a file here which is 47 blocks. The Ikari one contains their intro, so of course that one has to be longer than what the normal game would have, but it's not that much longer, and the rest is absolutely the same. So, is there any risk that if two people would take the same data set and provide their version, the size and content of two files would be exactly the same? Well, of course, there is a high degree of probability that that could happen. But here, Ikari took the original file and compressed them. So they were using Doc's custom version of Time Cruncher, so the level version of Time, to compress the levels for their version of the game. So what is the probability that somebody using another compressor would yield exactly the same result? That's absolutely totally impossible. That's not doable. You need to have exactly the same tool to yield exactly the same result, especially if you span over, let's say, 8 files here. 6 files it is, but anyways, so the probability that John Twiddy doing Last Ninja 2, the disc version, yielding exactly the same name and also size and also content as the Ikari version, that's absolutely zero. That can never, ever happen. So for me, it's quite evident that John Twiddy took the Ikari released, removed the intro, and then created the master disk for it. So the official disc version of Last Ninja 2, sold by System 3 in the box with the shuriken and whatever you got in there, is the Ikari version without the trainer and the intro. Were you expecting that? No, I'm sure you were not. All right, can I prove this? Can I prove this in any way? Yeah, let's see what the forensic evidence here shows us. Okay, so first Ikari's version. Generally, I would not recommend having a PRG file as the first file, because if you try to just load the first file on the disk, it will load that that line and it will freak out. So that's a stupid idea. But anyways, let's run this one then. This game cannot be copied, so don't waste your time. But it only took them 6 hours to do it. All right, so this is also very neat. Ikari implemented their trainer menu inside the actual game using sort of the framework of the game and then yielding this. Hat off, that's very neat. So unlimited lives, yeah, let's turn that on and let's do level trainer. Yeah, that's F3, of course. And then F5 to start the game. And here you see the level cruncher loading. So it's using the loader that Doc has done. And it's decrunching on the fly, and it does those white little lines in the background. That's and here we have the game starting. Okay, so you saw the game loaded and it did little white lines. You don't see that many sort of commercial games using that. Tape loaders and that is doing that, but loading the next level of a game from disk, you don't really do that. That's not how sort of commercial games look in the normal case. So let's have a look at the original, what that looks like. Okay, so here we have the original. First, please note that this game is sort of not protected. You can make copies of this. And I mean, this is System 3's sort of biggest release to at the time when they were releasing this. They already sold a humongous amount of copies on cassette. So this disc version came a lot later than the actual sort of the tape version. But let's load this and do you see the same white lines? And loading looks very similar. The size of the file is 100% the same. I can also show you one other thing, and that would be comparing two levels here. Yeah, let's do that. Okay, so I've extracted one of the files. I took it randomly. I wanted a big enough one because the probability of them being the same is, of course, less and less the bigger the file gets. So let's take the sewer file. So I'm selecting that like so, and then I'm doing compare. So Total Commander does a binary compare of two files from the different directories here. And they are exactly the same. One is extracted from the Ikari one, and one is extracted from the original. And I placed them in their respective home folder. So there you go. They are binary exactly the same. Is this absolutely firm evidence that John Twiddy took the Ikari version of their tape crack to produce the System 3 disc crack? I'll show you one little piece of evidence more to possibly win you over if you're still in doubt. We're getting back here to the original, and I would like to show you one thing that will for sure win you over if you're still in doubt. So I'm showing you the machine code monitor here, and I'm showing you a dump of the memory from 0300. So what you see here from 03B0 or somewhere around that is the string 0278 Ikari. Yeah, why is there a string saying Ikari in John Twitty's original release of Last Ninja 2? There is absolutely no relevant reason why that would be the case, unless he just nicked Ikari's Cracked, took out the intro and the trainer menu, and released it as the disc version. There you have it. I think that's solid evidence that John Twitty took a quick one here and, well, being angry at Ikari for cracking the game, why not sort of hijacking their work and effort when releasing the tape version? I would imagine that that's sort of a line of reasoning that John Twitty could have had at the time. So there you go. That's the original of Last Ninja 2 being Ikari's version, just repackaged. So Tom did suggest another little thing that I would like to show you here. So Last Ninja 2, the original tape, this is a plain dump, a tap file of Last Ninja 2, the original, and you can see here, blah, 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 lots of files, and report is this. So the report is showing this. So you see file names here, and you see file names down here. So these are loaded as block in this cyberload type 3, and then type 4 is sort of the level loader where it's loading a full file. And here you see 1B, 2B, 3B, 4B, 5B, and then so it's B, C, D, E, F, G. Those are the levels. Remember that. So Tom took this dump from Hit Squad. So the Hit Squad budget release of Last Ninja 2. Do you see here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of the file B, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of D, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of F. Where are the C files and where are the E files? Highly probable that if you buy the Hit Squad variant or the budget release of Last Ninja 2 on Hit Squad and you finish the first level, you are in for a surprise. It's probably so that they missed duplicating half of the levels to the original of the game. So if you're looking for Last Ninja 2, do not go for the Hit Squad if you're actually planning to play the game of the original. As you probably already realized watching this, I'm so grateful to Tom SLC for his contribution, suggesting the topic, and also much of the material that I showed here. So thanks so much, Tom. It means a lot. And then I also chatted with Brian, so Excel of Ikari, and he was the one confirming that no, John Twitty didn't ask for any permission of doing what he did. But again, Ikari didn't ask for permission doing what they did to John Twitty. So I guess it's sort of even. Thank you so much for watching this episode, and thanks for supporting the show as a Patreon, as a member, or just commenting on the comment field down below. We do appreciate your communication and hope to see you in the next episode. Bye-bye.
This station is now the ultimate power in the universe.
FairLight.